Well, Gabriel Martinelli's season is over. There is an Arsenal fan who has always been all over me and asking me, Rokani, what's all about Gabriel Martinelli? Finally, David Austin has gone ahead to throw into that story about Gabriel Martinelli. How are you guys? Second video of the day, and hope you guys are really having a fantastic evening. And this is Rokani David, and it's the Arsenal News Show. And smash the like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers. Now, there is a huge story about Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka being nominated into the Premier League Fans Player of the Season. We are going to tackle that a little bit and see who of those can really win it or lift it. Then lastly, Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, and very many others. Arsenal preparing to reward them in a different way all together. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and obviously start it off like this. Now, David Austin has come out and told us that Gabriel Martinelli will miss Arsenal's final 2 matches of the season after suffering ankle ligament damage. Martinelli is expected to be sidelined for a number of weeks, but barring any setbacks, should return in pre-season ahead of the new campaign. That is David Austin. You know, how did he get an injury? He was clattered by the by the Brighton midfielder Caicedo, who was playing as a right back, and he forced himself to stay on the field of play, but he couldn't really persevere through the pain, and he found himself calling in for substitute, and Leandro Trossard came in through and obviously played into that part. And I understand that Gabriel Martinelli is a very good player, but with the number of games that's going to have to play this season, he needed to rest. I understand, because Mikel Arteta is not this kind of manager who is really good at making rotations for his players, and that's why you see to it that whoever got an injury, he found himself really sidelined for a long time. You know, look at William Saliba. I understand he was one of those players that was least rotated in that squad of Arsenal, and it costed him that way because the manager never thought of him really getting injured. Look at the likes of Tomiyasu, you know, El Nini. Though some of them have not been playing the game of football, but it is really in the DNA of the player that rotation is always called in for. That's it. When you look at the players like Odegaard, one will say, but they don't. Look at Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, they don't get themselves off a lot. I bet, though Arsenal are not yet how to really reveal to us, but Bukayo Saka, the remaining 10 games of this season, he's having knocks. He's being forced on the field of play because Arteta had no option, you understand? But there are games I've already seen Arsenal winning this season and Bukayo Saka is kept on the field of play, you know? I think he would have been one of those players to be taken off the field of play when Arsenal is leading by 2 or 3 goals to nil at around the hour mark, because you know that you need to keep him fit. Look at Martin Odegaard. The reason Arsenal is going to have to persevere through this season without getting injuries is simple, because most of the games Odegaard has always been taken off. He rarely plays a full 90. But Gabriel Martinelli, he's one of those players who has almost played every game of Arsenal this season before he got injured. Not every minute, but every game, because Arsenal has only one player who's going to have to play every minute, and that is Aaron Ramsdale. So he is out. And which games is he going to miss? He's going to miss out on the game of Nottingham Forest on Saturday away in the Midlands at the City Ground. Then the final game where Arsenal is going to be playing Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates. I think he's not going to be such a big miss because Arsenal are playing for nothing. That's it. They've secured the second position. They've secured Champions League football. And it's now Mikel Arteta's time to really make some changes or really go in for the remaining 6 points and obviously take his tally to 87 points of the season. So Gabriel Martinelli is out, and if at all you never really watched that or had a reason to watch that game of football, that is how he was really brought down. And this is Moise Caicedo being next to him and trying to talk to him. Moise Caicedo is one of those players that being linked to Arsenal, and this is Kian Tierney, Gabriel Magalhaes, Granit Xhaka, a man linked away for a move from Arsenal. So that is how Gabriel Martinelli found himself, taken off the field of play, and he's out. And I think it's really good for him to rest. Let him rest for these remaining how many days, because he got the injury on today is 17th, right? He got the injury on the weekend. It was a Sunday and it was 14th. So he's going to rest for the remaining 17 days. Then there are other 30 days of June. So he's going to be having close to 50 days of rest, almost 2 months. That will help him really gear up for the preseason of Arsenal. And I think that's what Mikel Arteta wanted and needed as a manager of the team of Arsenal. So that is what is coming in from the camp of Arsenal as far as the injury of Martinelli is concerned. That means he's joining the likes of Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and William Saliba. That's Martinelli for you. But Zinchenko might show up as Arsenal plays Nottingham Forest on Saturday. So we'll keep you informed about what the manager has to say about those players. Then The Athletic has gone ahead and told us that Aaron Ramsdale is expected to double his wages from £60,000 a week with his new contract, while Bukayo Saka is set to earn £15 million a year, which comes it around £290,000 a week. Gabriel Martinelli is also one over the 6-figure mark. So, Aaron Ramsdale doubling his salary. I think he deserves it. 13 clean sheets this season. He has done his job. You know, he has kept Arsenal alive in this title race. 25 years of age, putting in his body on the line. I understand he is worth getting his amount of money doubled at Arsenal. You know, when you really work on well, you get rewarded. He's really one of those goalkeepers that is really underrated, especially by the English national team manager, that is Gareth Southgate. I think, however much Nick Pope is good, Pickford is good, Aaron Ramsdale is the best English goalkeeper alive. Let's all come to agreement onto this. I understand the English national team is really having lots of competition to that department, but this is evident and vivid by our naked eyes. So this manager of England should really make up his mind that Aaron Ramsdale is the better goalkeeper, and Arsenal's gone ahead to show it to us. And with Arsenal playing the Champions League next season, I think that is going to send a very huge message to him that this is the goalkeeper that should start in between the stitches of the English national team. So after this season, I think England is going to play some 2 games in June before players are really let go for their holidays as they prepare for the preseason of their respective teams. And you might really understand it well that it's going to be a huge decision to be made, as the likes of Jamie Pickford looks like they are going to find themselves relegated with Everton, and Nick Pope is another one who is really doing great at Newcastle. But for me, Ramsdale is ahead of all of those players, and I think he deserves to double. I was even thinking that they were going to give him £150,000 a week, but around £120,000 a week, that's not bad. Bukayo Saka, £290,000 a week. Not bad for him because he's English, 21 years of age, from the academy. He's the poster boy of Arsenal. Fans love him. I think getting that much is not bad for him. But how he prepares for next season, firing all cylinders like he has this season, is one of those things that Arsenal are really telling him to really focus on, because this season is done and dusted. He's going to be having chances to play in the Champions League, and obviously he's yet to shine at the world market. Then Martinelli is earning £180,000 a week at Arsenal. Good money for a player who is just 21 years of age, and it's up to him to go on and put in performances that are going to really force the board of Arsenal to really add him more money, because in the next 2-3 seasons Martinelli is really going to have hit his prime, and huge teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid will be knocking on the door for the services of Gabriel Martinelli. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But Arsenal have gone ahead to make their decision on really increasing the amount of money of those players. Even Martin Odegaard is going to get an increment from £87,000 a week. He might see himself get £200,000 a week in the new deal Arsenal is really structuring for their captain. Now, apart from the Premier League Player of the Year, Football Players Writers Association of the Year, there is another one that has been really put up and nominees have been made. And guess what? The Arsenal duo, Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, have both been nominated for the Premier League Football Player or Premier League Fans Player of the Year 2020-2023. Absolutely deserved, obviously. Now, I really felt pissed in the Football Writers Association Awards when they put Bukayo Saka ahead of Martin Odegaard. What has he done better than this man? You know, in this world, I've always liked it most when talent has gone ahead to really be rewarded ahead of form. You know, if you are talented and you really put up performances like those of a person who is just in form, I think I'd rather give it to a person who is talented. And I think Haaland is ahead of his players because Arsenal just found themselves really giving out the trophy. And if at all we reach this juncture when Arsenal is still on top of the table, I think the likes of Martin Odegaard would have gone again to be voted the old Bukayo Saka one of the two. But because Man City is now on top of the table, Haaland is going to take all these awards. I think even this one, Haaland is going to win it. But Saka and Martin Odegaard will come close. That's it. Saka and Martin Odegaard will come close. They will be in the top 4. I know they'll be in the top 4. But for a man like Martin Odegaard, who is just here for his full second season at Arsenal, ever since they signed him permanently in 2021, that is the summer, I think he's really getting the best that he deserves as a player. And his talent has really gotten off the mud. He's back onto the road and delivering performances that are really great and super interesting. That is a man known as Martin Odegaard. So, as it stands, that's what is happening in the camp of Arsenal. And now, your thoughts onto Gabriel Martinelli's season being over for Arsenal are welcome in the comment section below. He's missing out of the next 2 games against Wolverhampton Wanderers and Nottingham Forest in particular. And Arsenal are really okay with that because the player is going to rest. Then, do you think Aaron Ramsdale deserved an increment of almost times 2 the amount of money has been earning at Arsenal per week, £60,000 to £120,000. That is Aaron Ramsdale for you. And lastly, what do you think about Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard being nominated into the Premier League Fans Player Award of the Year? Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. See you in the next hours to come. Real Madrid is going to be entertained by Man City today at Etihad. All eyes are going to be there, and I think we'll tell you who is into the final to meet Inter Milan, who qualified yesterday after beating AC Milan on an aggregate of 3-0. I'm out.